Hey knitting peeps, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lisa, aka petiteknits here on YouTube. I'm a new knitter based in Canada. I started knitting back in January and it seems like forever ago. And I seriously cannot believe that December is just right around the corner. The year is almost over, but 'tis the season for gift knitting. I wanted to do a special episode of Sip and Knit where we can just hang out and chat. I wanted to kind of share what I will be making for my loved ones this year, as well as my thoughts on gift knitting in general. So I would love for you to join me. So if you can grab your drink to sip, your whip to knit, and let's get started. So as you can see, I am one with the bed and I don't plan on leaving anytime soon. I thought that I would kind of switch up the filming location, so I'm in the guest bedroom today. But yeah, just getting cozy. You know, I have my ginger tea here. I really like ginger tea. I didn't think that I would, but it tastes really good. This one is from the Traditional Medicinals brand. I don't know if all ginger tea tastes good, but at least this one does. And yeah, and my whip is a super secretive one. Just kidding. It is one of the gift knits that I will be making, and so we'll get to this in a second. To preface, this is my first year of knitting, and so I really wanted to share my love of knitting with everyone in my life. However, I think that I didn't anticipate how long each of the gift knits would take. I did start earlier. I started my first gift knit in January, but I don't think that I accounted for getting injured, how long each of the gift knits would take, as well as the amount of gift knits that I have on this gift knit list. And so we'll just quickly chat about the items that I have on the gift knit list, as well as my progress with each of these items. The first gift knit that I want to talk about is the Sophie hood by petiteknit, and you may have seen this gift knit on my channel before. I mentioned that I was knitting the Sophie hood for my boyfriend's mom in my last podcast episode, so if you haven't seen it, I will make sure to link it somewhere. But yes, the Sophie hood by petiteknit. I knitted this up in the Estelle yarns Llama natural worsted in the color Hazelnut, and this yarn unfortunately has been discontinued. I was a really big fan of it, but I managed to snatch up 3 hanks, and I only used up 2 for the Sophie hood pattern, which is a relief because if I ran out of yarn, I don't know what I would have done. But the composition of this yarn is 80% merino wool, 20% llama, and the size of the Sophie hood is a size small. This is my second time knitting up the Sophie hood, and so I am quite familiar with the pattern. I didn't anticipate having any issues at all. It was pretty smooth sailing up until I finished forming the second side of the hood. So when you knit up the scarf, you start from this one end here and you form increases and you keep continuing to increase to form one side of the hood, and then eventually you go on the other side, form the other side of the hood, and then you decrease to form the second side of the scarf. And so I started having issues on the second side after forming the hood, so like around this area. So when I was kind of decreasing to form the scarf of the Sophie hood, for whatever reason, I just don't know why, this end of the scarf ended up a lot wider than the original side. So this is the second side. And let me see if I can hold them side by side. Like, you can kind of see here that this original side is a lot thinner than this side. So I don't know what happened, but there's no way for me to fix this issue. Like, I would have to kind of rip it all back up until this part over here, and then kind of rework the decreases again. And so I don't think that I will have time to do that. And it makes me feel terrible because this gift is for my boyfriend's mom. I really put a lot of pressure on myself to make it as perfect as possible because this is for my boyfriend's mom, my future mother-in-law, this is a high stakes gift knit. And so I really wanted it to be perfect. And I was just so disappointed in myself when this side, after I bind it off and I realized that it was just so much chunkier than the other side. And so when the two ends of the scarves are kind of side by side like this, it's noticeable. When worn, the scarf, the chunky side of the scarf isn't that noticeable, which is a little bit reassuring. But I felt really disappointed in myself because I truly wanted to do a good job. I know that I could do a good job because I didn't have this issue with my first Sophie hood. But I think I just have to live with the fact that, like, I'm a beginner knitter. This is a hand knit item. There's going to be some wonkiness and mistakes and stuff here and there. I just feel terrible though because I personally feel okay with like having mistakes in my own knits, but if I am making something and gifting it to someone else, I just have this like immense pressure that I put on myself to make it as perfect as possible. But I just have to kind of make peace with the fact that, again, this is a hand knit item and I'm a beginner. So not all of the items that I make will be perfect right off the bat. And so I don't know. I hope that my boyfriend's mom won't notice, but I don't think she will say anything. And I don't think like, it's not like it's unusable. Like we can still work with this Sophie hood, but it's just not perfect, So the Sophie hood was my first gift knit of the season, and we're already not off to a great start. So I was really hoping that my second gift knit would go a lot more smoothly. So I knitted up the Chunky Beanie by Cooke, and this gift knit is for my boyfriend's dad. The status of this gift knit is almost finished just because I need to make a pom-pom to attach on the top of the beanie. But as you can see, there are two different types of yarn here because I actually ran out of the first yarn that I used for this pattern, which was the Loops and Threads Cozy Wool in the color black. And that yarn is unfortunately discontinued. And so after I ran out, I couldn't get any more because Michaels didn't carry that line anymore. And so I had to go on Yarn Sub to find a substitute yarn to finish this pattern just because I tried my best to make the length of the beanie as long as possible with the amount of yarn that I had, but obviously because I ran out, the beanie was just too short, and so I couldn't fold up and form the brim of the beanie with the black yarn because the beanie would be too short and it wouldn't fit my boyfriend's dad's head. And so I had to find another yarn to kind of pick up the stitches around the brim here to form this like kind of like folded brim. I'm not too sure what this portion of the beanie would be called, but like the folded brim of the beanie, I had to use a different yarn so that there would be enough length in this hat. And so and because I was kind of playing yarn chicken and losing yarn chicken, I was kind of forming decreases, and the crown just does not look very nice. And so I am hoping to make a pom-pom out of this chunky yarn so that I can kind of cover up this, little bump here. I forgot to mention that the yarn that I used to finish off this beanie is from Lion brand. It's the Woolen Ease Thick and Quick yarn, and this is the color Obsidian. And I can come up a little bit closer, but you can kind of see that it's a dark gray. It's not black. I tried my best to find the Thick and Quick yarn in the color black, but it was completely sold out everywhere. I looked at Michael's, Amazon, it was gone. Like I don't know what happened to it, but this is the most similar color to black, and I feel like once the pom-pom is on, it won't look too weird. But, you know, hopefully my boyfriend's dad likes it. But yeah, we're already 2 for 2 of disappointing gift knits. And so I feel a little bit hesitant to talk about my next gift knit on the list. I was really hoping that this gift knit wouldn't give me grief just because I was kind of on a streak of really bad gift knits and I really did not want to add another one on that list. But unfortunately, I have to. So I decided to knit the Jew headband by novemberknits for my friend Wilson. And we've been friends for like forever, like since high school. He's done a lot for me and I just really wanted to gift knit him something. And so he is not really like a winter accessories guy. Like I've literally never seen him wear a beanie or mittens or gloves or like a scarf, like nothing. I've never seen him wear any winter accessories. And we live in Canada, okay? So it gets quite cold here. And so I was like, you know what? Let's ease him in to the world of winter accessories and let's knit him a headband. And so that's what I did. And to preface, I do really enjoy the Jew headband pattern. I think that it's really great. I think it's super easy, perfect for beginners. And I'm like delaying like showing you guys what it looks like because I'm a little bit embarrassed. We're all friends here, right? Like you guys aren't gonna laugh at me when I show you guys this. I am being quite vulnerable. We're, being transparent here, showing you guys like the real side to beginner knitting. And so this is my Jew headband. Like, okay, so I'm going to talk about what happened. So the yarn that I used for this Jew headband is the Hobbii Friends wool. And if you've watched my videos before, you know that we are a fan of Hobbii Friends wool in this Bo Peep household, okay? We love Hobbii, we love Friends wool. And so I have this one in the color gray and this is the color Open Sea. And so I used 1 skein of each color, which was the perfect amount for this pattern. However, I am not too sure what happened. So originally, sorry, I'm like being really chaotic right now. Originally, I wanted to do a reversible headband so that, Wilson can kind of pick whatever color that he wants to rock that day. So I originally wanted to do like one side was blue, one side was gray, right? In concept, great idea, right? However, for whatever reason, I just did not have enough yarn to bind off the inside of the headband, and so I was binding off using the blue yarn, but I ran out, and so I had to use some of the gray, and so it just kind of looks wonky. Here, I'll show you guys. It just looks wonky. This looks whack. Like, okay, I'm gonna put it on. This is not a look. I thought that to kind of fix that issue, we can kind of do this bicolor situation. I mean, it's a look, but I don't know if I can give Wilson this. Okay, to be fair though, he's not a fashion girly, okay? Like my friend Wilson, we love the guy, but he's not going on the front cover of Vogue anytime soon. So I mean, if he steps out of the house looking like this, it's not that bad, right? Like, I don't know. I want to be a good friend, you know, and I wanted to gift knit him something. And so that's why I, you know, knitted this up for him. But it just looks terrible. Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Wilson. I don't know about this one, but it is very warm and very soft. So perfect. It's absolutely perfect. If it was one color, like if I had like only the gray or only the blue, it would look great. I just had to run out of yarn. You know, I just had to. Thankfully, Wilson is a true friend, so I'm sure that if I do gift knit, or sorry, if I do gift him this gift knit, he will appreciate it. I don't know if he will wear it, but he will definitely appreciate the sentiment of me knitting this bi-colored headband for him. So, yeah. I'm starting to think that I'm not very good at gift knitting. I have 2 more finished gift knits to share, and these 2 gift knits kind of come as a duo, and you'll see why in a bit. But I wanted to do something special for my boyfriend's friend. He's helped us out a lot, and so he and his wife are having twins. And so that is super exciting. I wanted to do something special for them, and their baby shower is upcoming. It's in early December, and so I wanted to gift knit 2 baby bear bonnets, and the pattern is by Pernille Larsen. So that was my plan. I wanted to do 2 matching bear bonnets, and so we'll chat about the first one. So this baby bear bonnet, I knitted up using the Sadness Garn Tin Merino Wool, I think is how you pronounce the yarn base. And so the yarn is in the color light blue, and I held the yarn double to meat gauge for this pattern. And so I knitted up the size 3 months just because I didn't want to make a newborn size and have the baby only be able to wear it once. And honestly, I am not the biggest fan of this tin merino wool yarn. I found that it was quite splitty because the yarn strands are not wound very tightly, and so it kind of unraveled very easily, and that made the yarn very splitty to work with. So I wasn't, you know, very happy about that, but the merino wool yarn is very soft because it is 100% merino wool, safe for babies. I'm forgetting if it is superwash, but if it is, I can make a note to mention to you guys if it is. Now, I want to warn every beginner knitter out there that the baby bear bonnet pattern is not for beginners. Pernille Larsen does have another bear bonnet pattern that is meant for beginners, which I will mention in a little bit. But I found that the baby bear bonnet pattern to be quite difficult for me. The language and the layout of the pattern was just kind of confusing. I thought that maybe it was just because I wasn't really used to Pernille Larsen's writing style, but I just found it so confusing. It was so hard for me to understand. I really had the most difficult time trying to do the continuous I-cord bind off. So like I would make the I-cord tie and then bind off here and then make the rest of the I-cord tie here. I didn't know how to do that. I just could not figure it out. It also didn't help that I kind of ended up with the wrong number of stitch counts, even though I followed the pattern exactly, and I'm quite familiar and comfortable with German short rows. And so, I don't know, I was just having a lot of trouble with the pattern. And so I made a modification where I just kind of bind it off this section here using I-cord bind off. And then I created 2 I-cord ties and attached them to each of the ends of the bonnet here. Because I was having such a difficult time, I didn't really want to knit a second bare bonnet and kind of struggle through again. It was a little bit traumatizing. Maybe I'm being a little bit dramatic, but it was just really difficult for me, and I didn't feel confident to make a second bare bonnet for you know, the other baby, but I didn't want to just make a normal beanie for the second baby. If one baby has a bear bonnet, like, come on, it's so cute. And so I was like, okay, maybe I will look into the rail bear bonnet pattern by Pernille Larsen and see if that pattern is easier to work up than this one. So I ended up buying the rail bear bonnet pattern, also by Pernille Larsen, and this is said to be the beginner-friendly version of the baby bear bonnet pattern. And so I knitted this rail bear bonnet pattern using the Laine du Nord Eco Baby yarn in the color pale yellow. And I've worked with this yarn before. I knitted my petiteknit Maggie cardigan using this yarn, so I loved it then, I loved it now. It is very easy to work up, super soft, and this yarn is meant for babies. So I found that this pattern was a lot easier to understand. It is definitely beginner friendly. I want to be honest and say that side by side, I do prefer the look of the baby bear bonnet compared to the rail bear bonnet. Like stockinette, or sorry, what is this stitch? Garter stitch is a lot easier for beginners to knit, and it worked up pretty quickly. I didn't have any issues at all, I don't think. But I just don't really like these ties here. I think moving forward, I might kind of combine the two patterns and just kind of knit the head portion in this kind of garter stitch style and then do an I-cord bind off or I-cord ties on both of the sides here. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I don't know if other people have struggled with these bear bonnet patterns, but I definitely have. And so that's why I wanted to kind of share my experience working on these two patterns here. But regardless, I think that the parents will really enjoy these bear bonnets, and I think that they are super cute. They're not perfect, of course, just because I was kind of struggling a little bit. And this one is kind of like a little bit messy. I don't know why, it just looks so messy. But anyway, I tried my best with these two bear bonnet patterns. I really wanted to do something nice for the parents, and so I really hope that they enjoy it, and I'm sure they will. I can't wait to see the twins in these two cute little bonnets. I barely got any knitting done because I was too busy showing off my gift knits. And so this is a gift knit, of course, that I'm knitting up. I am knitting the Hipster hat by petiteknit. And if you saw my last podcast episode, you may have seen that I knitted up the Hipster hat before. But this size that I'm knitting is a child size because I'm knitting it for my nephew. It's his first birthday next month, and so I wanted to give him a hand knit item. And the Hipster hat is a very reliable pattern. I loved it the first time that I knitted it, and I think that it is perfect for beginners. Super easy to understand. It is petiteknit after all, but there's nothing simpler than a double-ribbed beanie pattern. I'm using the Estelle yarn Superwash Merino DK in the color gingerbread, and this color is in fact the color of gingerbread. Perfect name for the yarn. I really like it. I think that it is a non-splitty version of the Sandisk Garn Tin Merino Wool. Composition of this yarn, by the way, is 100% merino. And so I really like it, and I can see myself using this Superwash Merino wool for other baby knits in the future. So while I'm working on the Hipster hat for my baby nephew, let's chat about the 3 gift knits that I have left on my queue. I don't think that I will be able to finish them even if I do cast them on now or next month. And so they're on the queue for now, but I will definitely get to them eventually. So the first one is the Jew headband by Novemberknits again. My sister requested a matching headband to the pink scarf that I had knitted her back in January. And so I do have the yarn for that project. I'm just waiting for the time to cast on that project. But I know that once I have it casted on, I'll be able to finish the project relatively quickly. So that is the first item on the list. The second knit that I have on my gift knit queue is the Olga sweater by petiteknit. So my brother actually saw my Olga sweater video. I'm pretty sure he subscribed. Maybe that's how he saw it. And so he saw my petiteknit Olga sweater video and he requested one for himself. So I've never knitted a sweater for a man before. This would be my first time. And the Olga sweater pattern, I feel like could be unisex. I'm not too sure, but I took his measurements and I kind of compared his body measurements to the measurements that was listed on the pattern. And I don't think that it is unisex. Like it might be a woman's sweater pattern. And so it was kind of confusing me a little bit because I'm not too sure what size to knit my brother because he is a man who is taller and bigger than me. So I am concerned about the fit on the shoulders and the arms, like particularly the arm circumference. And obviously like the length of the sleeve and the length of the body will be much longer than the measurements that were listed in the pattern. So I told my brother that if I were to knit him something, I will most likely use natural fibers. And so most likely he would have to hand wash his item. And so I asked him how he felt about that, if he's comfortable with that kind of maintenance, or if I should kind of use something that is a lot more like, I don't know, easier to manage, easier to launder. I was kind of debating whether I should go with like a wool acrylic blend or 100% acrylic or maybe even superwash. But I'm already uncertain about the size to knit for my brother. And so I don't know what kind of yarn to use also, as well as how much yarn to get for this project. Everything's just kind of up in the air on this one. And so until I kind of figure out everything, I am probably going to have to postpone this Olga sweater for my brother. My camera cut out, so I don't know if you got any of that. But I was saying that until I figure out that kind of stuff, the Olga sweater for my brother is going to be on hold for now. And the last gift knit that I have in my queue is the blanket stitch beanie by meganfaithmakes. And the plan for that was I wanted to knit up a beanie for my boyfriend's aunt. But again, I just don't know if I will have the time to work on that anytime soon. And so that gift knit is most likely postponed. So those are all the gift knits on the list. What do I think about gift knitting in general? Now, I'm a beginner knitter, and that's the only perspective that I have on this topic. And so I will say that I love to knit. Honestly, I will find any excuse to knit anytime, anywhere. But during this time when I was kind of working on gift knits back to back, I kind of felt like I kind of signed myself up for this like full-time job at Santa's Knitting Factory. And like, of course, I want to share my love of knitting and yarn with the people that I care about in my life. But like, it just kind of came with a lot of stress and also, unfortunately, wrist pain. I didn't find it fun, you know, and knitting is supposed to be fun. Knitting is supposed to be a fun, relaxing hobby. And it just kind of turned into this like marathon of like deadlines for me. Also, I found that I was putting a lot of pressure on myself to make my gift knits as perfect as possible. And obviously that is just not humanly possible because I'm a beginner knitter. I don't have all of the skill sets yet, so obviously I'm going to be making mistakes here and there. And if it's a knit for me, for myself, like I wouldn't mind as much if there were mistakes in garments or whatever. But if I'm knitting something for someone else, I just feel this like immense amount of pressure to kind of get it right. And so after this year, I might officially retire from gift knitting. Like I will obviously still make things for people, but I just don't know if I will want to kind of participate in the gift knitting that happens every festive season, you know? But those are my thoughts. I would love to hear yours. So please share in the comments down below what you think of gift knitting. If you're gift knitting this year or if you've gift knitted in the past, I would love to know. So please let me know down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this video until the end. It truly means a lot to me, and I really love having you here on Sip and Knit episodes. I do have some very exciting news to share. I'll be doing vlogmas this year, so please make sure to subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss out on all of the fun, festive content that will be coming your way this December. Please make sure to give this video a like, and until we see each other next, happy knitting!